Okay, I'm sure you've been following along in the last few lessons, but what I did here is I just wrote down all of the number models that we had so far. So we had 6 problems, and so we have 6 number models. I want to read them across to you. I want to see if you have found any patterns. Some of you yesterday were already coming up with patterns. If you already had an idea of your pattern that you saw, I want you to kind of check to see if these number models continue to prove your pattern or disprove your pattern. So as I read them, pay attention. We have 3/4 times 2/6 equals 6/24. Then we have 3/4 times 2/3 equals 6/12. 1/3 times 3/5 equals 3/15. Then we have 5/6 times 2/5 equals 10/30. And over here on this side, we have 4/5 times 2/3 equals 8/15. 2/4 times 1/5 equals 2/20. Now, before we go getting all excited about what we're noticing, let's answer a few questions. Where does the total number of parts in the square show up in your answer? So when you're looking at the end, I want you to think where it shows up in your answer. Okay, you are correct. It's when we zoomed out, okay, and in our fraction, the total number of squares was our denominator. Okay, the next question says, where does the number of shaded parts show up in your answer? Again, it's our zoom out question, and it's the total number shaded is our numerator. Okay, can we use this information to think of an efficient way to multiply fractions? I'm hoping that you are seeing that the pattern is that when we take the numerator times the numerator, we get our new numerator, the total number of shaded squares. The denominator times the denominator equals our new denominator. Let's test this out. Okay, I'm going to write down a couple of the number models we have. Let's see if that is true. The first one is 3/4 times 2/3 equals 6/12. Okay, if we look at that picture, 6 parts were shaded in out of 12. Okay, so it worked for that one. Okay, let's try another number model. Another one we had was 1/3 times 3/5 equaled 3/15. Well, 1 times 3 does equal 3, and 3 times 5 does equal 15. It works there. Let's try another one. We had 5/6 times 2/5 equals 10/30. Well, 5 times 2 equals 10. 6 times 5 equals 30. It works for there. This is the algorithm. Okay, so to multiply fractions, okay, you're going to multiply the numerator times the numerator to get the new numerator, and the denominator times the denominator to get the new denominator. So how are we going to describe the method for multiplying fractions discovered in class? Okay, well, we can figure out that multiplying the numerators of the fractions gives the number of shaded parts in an area model, and that's the numerator of the product. And that multiplying the denominators of the fractions gives the number of parts in the whole square, and that's the denominator of the product. Remember, product is an answer to a multiplication problem. Okay? But if we were going to have to write it out and sum it up all into one sentence, we can say the product of two fractions. Look at this great handwriting. Can be found by multiplying the numerators This board is about as fun as the other one. Always having a problem with the handwriting. And multiplying the denominators. So again, the product of two fractions can be found by multiplying the numerators to get a new numerator and multiplying the denominators to get the new denominator. Let's test this out. Okay, look at problem A here. 7/8 times 4/9. We're going to multiply the two numerators. 7 times 4 equals 28. I'm sure you guys knew that so fast. And 8 times 9 equals 72. Now, if you're getting stuck on multiplication facts or you're like, oh no, multiplication facts, please feel free to use the resource of the multiplication table in your journal. Look at B. We have 4/5 times 1/4. We're going to multiply the numerators. 4 times 1 equals, good job, 4. And then we have 5 times 4 equals 20. Okay, and on C, I can say 2/9 times 1/7. 2 times 1 equals 2. 9 times 7 equals 63. Okay, now that's about the simplest part of it. I do want to give us a little bit of enrichment now to think about our assignment that you will have tomorrow. So check these problems out. Alright guys, what are we going to do when we have a whole number times that fraction? Okay, guys, we're still finding a fraction of a whole. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to change 5 into 5 over 1, keep the 7/8, and then we're going to multiply across. 5 times 7 equals 35. 1 times 8 equals 8. We just have an improper fraction that we need to solve. 35 divided by 8. 8 can go into 35. How many times without going over? It can go in 4. 4 times 8 equals 32. Do a little subtraction. I get 3. 4 remainder 3. That 4 is going to be my whole number. 3, new numerator. Keep the old denominator. 4 3/8. Ta-da! Then, on my next one, I'm going to take 2/3 times, not just 9, 9 over 1. 2 times 9 equals 18. 3 times 1 equals 3. Okay, and now I have an improper number, so I'm going to do 18 divided by 3. You are right, that is 6. Minus 18 is nothing, so I have no remainder. My answer is just 6. So, now that you have just about practiced this thing to death, let's go through our to-do list. Your to-do list is to first complete exit slip 5/9. Everybody should complete this. Then you need to complete journal page 181. Everyone should complete this. Finally, go through and ask for your home link 5/9. You should be able to get this done in class. And if you're done with all of that, please get on to ST Math and try to increase your percentage done through the curriculum. Thanks guys, you'll have a review tomorrow after your STAR math test.